Ранее эти здания были фактически захвачены властями США. Подобные шаги только осложняют российско-американский диалог. Вся ответственность за нарушение норм межгосударственных отношений лежит исключительно на официальном Вашингтоне. Мы требуем незамедлительно прекратить планомерный захват нашей собственности в Соединенных Штатах Америки, сопровождающийся оскорбительными действиями, вернуть наши флаги на здания, принадлежащие Российской Федерации, и не допускать подобного впредь.
Тоже президента Казахстана в ней поучаствовать. Уверен, что не только не... Товарооборот по итогам 2016 года составил 40,7 миллиарда долларов, а объем прямых накопленных инвестиций в российскую экономику компаниями из ФРГ достиг 18 миллиардов долларов. В текущем году отмечен рост двухсторонней торговли сразу на 25%. И инвестиции только в первом квартале текущего года 312 миллионов, а за весь прошлый год было 225 миллионов. Мы готовы создавать все условия, чтобы иностранные предприниматели чувствовали себя на российском рынке комфортно. В тесном контакте с деловыми кругами продолжим совершенствовать законодательную базу, правоприменительную практику. Будем снимать избыточные административные барьеры, вкладывать ресурсы в развитие инфраструктуры и, разумеется, в подготовку кадров. Думаю, вы согласитесь, что сотрудничество наших стран не должно ограничиваться только крупными проектами. Важным драйвером развития современной экономики является малый, средний бизнес. В Федеративной Республике Германия на долю малого бизнеса приходится более половины ВВП страны. У нас это значительно меньше, к сожалению. Но мы ставим перед собой задачу довести уровень малого и среднего бизнеса в России к 2030 году до 40%. Думаю, что это только всем на пользу пойдет.
Umfragen zeigen aber letztlich immer wieder, für die überwältigende Mehrheit der Deutschen steht es völlig außer Frage, dass wir ein freundschaftliches Verhältnis zu Russland brauchen und dass wir alles tun müssen, einen Stillstand unserer Beziehungen zu vermeiden. Diesem Wunsch wird sicher auch die neue Bundesregierung Rechnung tragen. Hiervon sind wir als Ostausschuss der deutschen Wirtschaft überzeugt.
Президентом еще одной страны, с которой работает Восточный комитет.
Ein zweites Thema, das uns bereits seit einigen Wochen beschäftigt, sind die möglichen neuen amerikanischen Wirtschaftssanktionen gegen Russland. Die Gründe für diese Sanktionen liegen klar auf der Hand. Sie sind in der Innenpolitik und den US-amerikanischen Wirtschaftsinteressen zu suchen. Wir unterstützen die klar ablehnende Haltung der Europäischen Union und der Bundesregierung in dieser Frage. In einem ausführlichen Positionspapier haben wir auf die Gefahren einer möglichen exterritorialen Anwendung der US-amerikanischen Sanktionen für die deutsche Wirtschaft hingewiesen und stehen diesbezüglich auch in einem regen Austausch mit der Bundesregierung. Leider tragen diese Sanktionspläne zu einer weiteren Verunsicherung unter europäischen Unternehmen bei.
No plans to warn against the use of Kaspersky products since we have no evidence of misconduct by the company or weaknesses in its software.
Well, for more details on this, Maria Finoshina joins me live from Berlin. Well, hello there, Masha. So, what's the background to this story?
Hi, Kate. Well, Kate, it seems that the story behind has more questions than answers. It all started with the New York Times reporting that the so-called Russian hackers that apparently the paper believes have connections with the Russian government had been using Kaspersky Labs software to get classified information from the foreign intelligence and security agencies, including America's NSA, National Security Agency. The paper claims this information is coming from Israel's officials who shared it with the NSA. The NSA itself refused to give any comment, saying this would violate the company's policy, leaving all this quite unclear. Well, Germany's cyber security agency has been quick to claim that no evidence had been found to prove to back these media reports. So we say reports because shortly after the New York Times article was published, a lot of media picked up the story with quite catchy headlines like Russia turned Kaspersky Lab software into tool for spying. Kaspersky Lab has called these allegations groundless. Let's take a listen.
Kaspersky Lab has never helped nor will help any government in the world with cyber espionage efforts.
Private-held Russia-based Kaspersky Lab has been repeatedly accused of being involved in certain spy activity in the last 2 years. It has been always denying all accusations and all allegations, but we still hear about them. Just recently, Washington has gone as far as banning all federal departments and agencies from using Kaspersky services. And now we have Germany on the side of Kaspersky saying no evidence had been found to prove any involvement by the company in any spying activity. But given the recent developments and the recent dynamic, we can say that this saga is far from over, and we can hear more allegations in the future. Back to you.
I interviewed Julian Assange 5 times. I've talked to him other times. He has said it's not Russia. There was no collusion. They didn't come, the DNC emails did not come from them. Congressman Dana Rohrabacher met with him, and he says he has proof positive evidence that would show the Trump campaign never colluded with Russia. Is it in the best interest of the country that if he has that information that he should give it? It seems, I'm guessing here, he wants in return to be left alone. Should the country, does the country deserve to know the truth if he has that?
The country has to know the truth. And also, we can't let anybody play around with our voters and our voter system. But I have to tell you this. So important. But Russia was an excuse used by the Democrats when they lost the election. They said they lost the election. They sat in a room and they said, wow, we look bad. The morning after, in fact, it's been written about, I guess, in various books or a book. But they said, why did you lose the election? They said, it was Russia. Russia. It wasn't Russia. It was a bad candidate. It was a candidate that didn't go to Wisconsin and Michigan like they should have. It was a candidate that spent tremendously more money than I did, as you know, more than double, and didn't do well in Pennsylvania, this great state, didn't do well in Florida, didn't do well in North Carolina or South Carolina. I mean, lost Wisconsin for the first time in decades, lost Michigan. Now, with all of that being said, bad candidate, but they said Russia. Then they say, and it was Trump that colluded with Russia. I'm saying, I did? So look, here's the story, and I think it's so important. This was an excuse by the Democrats, and people got carried away. This was a terrible, and it's very bad for our country what's happened, because how to deal with Russia during this campaign? Forget it. Forget it. This was an excuse that was used by the Democrats. It was an excuse for losing an election that, frankly, they should have won, because winning the Electoral College is so easy for a Democrat. You have to. They start off with 3 major states, and to win the Electoral College for a Democrat, it's almost like a given. That's why people said, you cannot get to 270. Well, we got to 306, okay, because we won a lot of the states. We won a lot of it. But I thought it was very sad when I saw this, because they're using excuses. And, you know, one other thing I have to say, The Electoral College I never appreciated. I would rather have a popular vote. For me, it's easier because you go to different states. For me, the popular vote is easier. But the one thing about the Electoral College, it takes you around to states that you would not go to otherwise. So it's been a great thing. But I say this, we had an unbelievable, unprecedented election. I'm so proud of my people. I'm so proud of you. You know, I did this show when a lot of people said, well, I did it a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of people, I guess people are watching.
It's only the second one that since you've been president, but I'm glad to have you.
No, but a lot of people, that's right. Maybe we won't do it anymore with him, right?
Well,
hey.
Well, come on, help me out
here.
here.
We don't need it so much. But I will say this. You have been so great, and I'm very proud of you. And, you know, I'm a ratings person. You notice I always thought, okay, has anyone seen his rating? What you are doing to your competition is incredible. Number one, and I'm very proud of you. And it's an honor to be on your show. I have to tell you that, Joe.